A released WWE Star has returned on SmackDown. We have an update on The Rock's potential WWE return, and the winner of the WWE World Cup was crowned last night. Stay tuned for the news. So we're kicking things off today. There's been a lot of returns in the past couple months, and we've had
since
enough
the regime change.
No, don't get me wrong, I'm loving returns. But
I'm sick of them. I don't want any more.
I know. I'm getting whiplash for all the returns. I'm like, there's someone new, and then it's like, it's like when you open a present on Christmas. Now we're getting to the Christmas theme, and you open your first one. You're like, this is incredible, and then you open another one. You're like, which one do I play with first? Well, we've got someone else on SmackDown because Tegan Nox returned to WWE last night on the episode of SmackDown. She aligned herself with Liv Morgan. Now, Morgan had come out and confronted Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, so damage control. And then Nox ran in to make the save. She sort of evened the odds almost.
Yeah, like Liv kind of went down and she said, like, this is from, the entire locker room. And she tried to take them on 3-on-1 and she sort of threw a couple of them to the outside and they just sort of ended up with her and Bayley in the ring. And then out came Tegan Nox to sort of equalize things as they ganged up on her.
Obviously, there's a lot of history there with Dakota Kai. They were tag team partners in NXT, and then Dakota turned on Tegan. So there's a lot of history there. It's exciting to maybe see them mix it up and hopefully with Triple H in charge use that history.
Yeah, fingers crossed. The commentary straight away the second that she got down to the ring and started laying into Dakota was like mentioning the prior links between her and Dakota Kai. So that's good sign that maybe we're going to continue on with some of the booking and keep going down that route. Obviously she was more closely aligned with Shotzi.
Yeah,
most recently
called up as a tag team,
Shotzi and Nox, sounding like some sort of 70s buddy cop duo.
Shotzi and Nox. I would watch that program.
Oh, for sure.
If it was like Starsky and Hutch, Shotzi and Nox, it'd be incredible. But yeah, Morgan sort of brought a kendo stick into the ring to sort of equalize those. Nox then hit the shiniest wizard on Bayley to sort of end the scuffle between them. I'm excited to see what she does. It seems Triple H's focus seems to be on the women's division right now and bringing people back and sort of giving that a real boost that is needed.
She's somebody who, when getting cut in those mass layoffs, it was just not nice because it wasn't nice for anybody, but she really didn't get a good chance to hit the ground running because it was, just one injury after the other. And it's just so many bad things happening close together that I feel she kind of was a bit stop-start, but it's not exactly her fault. So it'd be nice to actually see her with a length of time to be able to do something good on the main roster. We've got the Dakota Kai link there. We've got the Shotzi link there. So there's potentially, some good foundation points that we can build on.
She's someone I think they could utilize in a way if Liv needs, or if they need a challenger for the women's championship, she can sort of be elevated to that point. Obviously, we've seen Shotzi recently fill that. Yeah. So maybe we'll see that come back and link up because again, Triple H seems to be playing on old storylines.
That and her pace as well. She's quite quick in the ring, and it's sort of a different dynamic to quite a lot of the rest of the female talent, I feel, in that respect. So, it's just an extra new sort of bit of flavor into that division that's hopefully going to help even things out.
I think it will help. I think it will help. Now, I think we noticed this past year with the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble was quite slim in terms of the amount of people that they could draw from the roster, but we're going to focus on the Royal Rumble now because we've got the first entrant in this upcoming Royal Rumble.
Who is it,
has officially been confirmed. Well, I'm going to ask you that, Sam. Who is entering the Royal Rumble?
It's not exactly a name that you'll be surprised to hear. It may be his 15th appearance if we include the greatest Royal Rumble in that mix, 14th if not, wherever you stand on the greatest Royal Rumble being canonical or not. It's Kofi Kingston, who obviously is, over the years has been a major standout of many, many, many Rumble matches. His creative evasions, his methods of getting back into the ring, avoiding elimination. Yeah, it's sort of every single time it's like, what's he going to do this time? So, there's always going to be that leading into it. But I think, Kofi's somebody who we saw get to the very top, and then it felt like things just got cut a bit short.
Yes.
And so throwing him back into the Rumble, giving him that chance to once again, try and run the whole route up there to try and get to that main event, I'd be happy to see.
I would like to see
Kofi come away with the win. It'd feel great.
Put him in the final four at least, just to give us sort of like, look, he is still that talent.
That's the thing, because it feels like it was like, Kofi was this amazing wrestler for a set amount of time in terms of like top of the card, brawling or whatever. But now he's just back doing this. And it's like, no, he's always been that guy.
He's always been there.
You just need to shine the spotlight on it more. So yeah, I agree. Maybe Final Four.
Final Four, hopefully. Yeah. Well, sticking with the Royal Rumble and the potential sort of Final Four.
This blows my mind.
Get ready. Strap yourself in. The Wrestling Observer has provided an update on The Rock's return to WWE, saying that an idea that's been talked about backstage and has been discussed is for The Rock to return at the Royal Rumble as the surprise number 30. Not just that, Sam. There's more.
Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. He could win the match. Oh.
I don't think I could ever be so angry and so happy at the same time. I think I might just turn into a black hole. Right. I might just kind of go and disappear, because on the one hand, you've got to sit there and look at it going like, really, The Rock winning the Royal Rumble? Yeah. Are you for real? Like, all this talent, and you're going to have a legend come back and win it. But at the same time, it's The Rock. It's the biggest movie star on earth. It's The Rock. It's The Rock. I'm not going to be angry if The Rock wins the Royal Rumble. I know I probably should be, but I'll just be screaming at my TV at like 5 a.m.
You were delighted when Goldberg won the Universal title. So I'd be delighted if The Rock was winning the Rumble. Plus, we've not really had a legend return to the Rumble and win it. We see all these people that are like, I'm going to enter this year, like Kevin Nash coming out.
I am hoping we get a good set of surprises this year, because it feels like the Rumble's been void of kind of callback surprises in recent years.
Yeah, it really has. Well, the Wrestling Observer has noted that if Johnson wants to do it and can be sold on the idea, this is the perfect scenario for the company. That's their mindset for this. If he does return, though, it would need to be set in stone by mid-January. That's when they want to have WrestleMania finalised.
Well, you'd want to hope, considering it occurs at the end of January.
The end of January. I mean, under a previous regime of WWE, I would be surprised to hear that it's not set in stone.
It's going to be Kevin Owens all the way up to the night, and then Vince is just like, Dwayne, oh, you're in town, are you? You're staying in the same hotel as... Oh, come down, bring your trunks.
Well, hopefully we see him at some point, at least for WrestleMania. That match with Reigns makes sense. I kind of hope it takes place.
But I kind of wish we had more build, though. The head of the table being the provider of the family, mouthing off about being the one that provides for the entire family, and he's the big dog. It's like, no, man, your cousin is kind of a lot bigger than you.
He is kind of a big
and
deal.
He's surely going to have something to say about it.
Maybe that will kick off at the Royal Rumble, but The Rock might not be the only name they're considering bringing back for WrestleMania weekend. What is the story, Sam?
So, we saw over WrestleMania weekend last year, and I feel like they did it a couple of other times. They did it at Cardiff for Clash at the Castle. Undertaker debuted the One Dead Man show, like the one-man show thing, where he was sort of telling stories and tales from his time on the road as the Undertaker. And it was a success, and people very much enjoyed it. I remember Cardiff, we couldn't get tickets for love nor money.
Yeah, you were down there.
We were trying to get in. But WrestleVotes have reported that WWE have discussed bringing in Stone Cold Steve Austin and Trish Stratus for WrestleMania weekend, with the aim of using them for shows similar to the Undertaker's One Dead Man show. So Austin, there's many things you can do straight off the bat. People are going to go, maybe a live podcast type thing with various
He's got
guests.
The Broken Skull sessions. Yeah.
There's all sorts of, but at the same time, I'd quite like the idea of Austin just sort of doing a one-man sit down. Let's talk about some funny stories. And Trish is surely going to have a lot of things to talk about from her years. Yeah, sort of leading the charge in the women's division alongside a handful of other female talent.
She was
at the
one
time.
of the top names for 6-7 years. Yeah. Like, I'm sure she's got tons to talk about. I'm sure if a live Q&A with her, I think it would be incredible. Would you go either of those shows?
Yeah, I want WWE to do more sort of wider shows. I've always said that if they did Mania somewhere that had like concert halls, it would make so much sense to do some sort of music of WWE evening. If you could coax Jim Johnston out, he doesn't like crowds and stuff, but if you could kind of coax him out, but having it played live in front of an audience and maybe a couple of stories about the origins of certain themes, I'd pay hundreds for that.
I think you're onto a winning idea.
More shows like this, definitely, because it gives you that extra little thing to do, because often you'll go to Access, you'll kind of have a mill around, you might go back to the hotel for a bit and do nothing on the evening if it's a non-event
Give
night.
us an orchestra playing all WWE
Give us
themes.
Austin telling stories, or Trish. Yeah,
well, it could happen. So we're gonna keep things with WWE related. Now, last week we reported that Damian Priest possibly could have been involved with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
Well, we're staying with some Marvel related news on that one, because Becky Lynch reportedly filmed scenes for The Eternals last year. Now that released in November, and Fightful Select has reported that her scenes were filmed, but they were scrapped and cut from the film. It was meant to be a post-credit scene, and however, that post-credit scene was replaced with Harry Styles playing Thanos' brother, Eros. Now, I'm kind of not surprised. Harry Styles is quite a big
a little
name.
bit. Yeah.
He's kind of a big deal. So I'm not surprised they maybe went with his scene. But Fightful continues by saying that despite the scene being cut, Marvel might use her again in the future, as they're reportedly very happy with Becky Lynch's performance. But no reason was given why it was cut outside from the scene was too depressing.
Yeah, sometimes when you get into an edit, tonally things may shift. You know, you'll get to a point where it's like, oh God, this has been a really bad run. We just throw in something here that's a bit nicer. And eventually it's like, oh God, well, that means that whole thread has to come out. And then it sucks, but you have to just remove an entire thread. And it may be that we see these exact scenes in another release, or it may be that they just kind of stay on, you know, DVD special features as a what if type scenario. But you got to imagine they're going to probably bring her back in at some point.
She's quite a big name now.
Yeah.
You know, she's quite a big star, I think. Yeah,
and she can do all the physicality as well.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, she's currently starring in Young Rock and Cyndi Lauper, so we'll maybe see her in Marvel at some point. But we're going to end on last night's SmackDown because the winner of the WWE World Cup has been not announced. They've been crowned.
And where was this winner from?
This winner was from America.
All right, yeah.
Yes, America. Go freedom and all that.
World Cup.
Yep, the World Cup. To be fair,
it's been an actual, like, there's been a range of talent.
It was diverse. It was diverse. Well, Ricochet has been crowned the winner of the World Cup after he defeated Santos Escobar in the final of last night's SmackDown. See there, World Cup. It's quite diverse. Santos Escobar. Ricochet made it to the finals by defeating, now this is where you'll see the wealth of talent here, Mustafa Ali, Braun Strowman. Escobar defeated Nakamura and Butch. So that is quite a few countries included. Better than Shane McMahon's victory a few years ago.
Yeah. Did they sing Wrestling's Coming Home afterwards?
They should have done.
Yeah.
Should have.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, as Ricochet celebrated his victory, Gunther's music hit and the Intercontinental Champion and Ricochet had a stare down to end the broadcast because
mysteriously, this hand-shaped welt just started materializing on Ricochet's chest
for 2 weeks' notice. So they're going to have a match in 2 weeks' time.
It's just a sign that the Gunther's coming. You just start getting big red hand marks all over your body.
They should do that. That's money. There's money to leave on the table. But that is
people fleeing up and down the country.
I'd be terrified. That is all we have for you for video one. We will be back later on with more news. I'm off for a cuppa. I'm quite tired.
I could do with a coffee.
We will speak to you later.